the Mississippian civilization stands as a remarkable testament to the ingenuity, cultural complexity, and architectural prowess of ancient North America. Flourishing between approximately 800 and 1600 CE, the Mississippian culture thrived across the southeastern region of what is now the United States, leaving behind a rich legacy of monumental earthworks, vibrant communities, and sophisticated belief systems. Named after the Mississippi River, which served as a central lifeline and trade route for many Mississippian societies, this civilization represents one of the most significant cultural achievements of pre-Columbian North America. In summary, the Mississippian civilization represents a remarkable chapter in the history of North America, characterized by its cultural richness, architectural splendor, and enduring legacy. By studying the Mississippian culture, we honor the achievements of indigenous peoples, challenge historical narratives, and enrich our understanding of the human experience. The Mississippian civilization flourished across a vast expanse of the southeastern United States, encompassing regions along the Mississippi River and its tributaries. Major Mississippian sites dotted the landscape from present-day Illinois and Wisconsin in the north to Florida and Louisiana in the south. The fertile river valleys of the Mississippi, Ohio, Tennessee, and Alabama rivers provided the ideal conditions for agricultural productivity, settlement growth, and cultural development. The origins of the Mississippian culture can be traced back to earlier indigenous traditions, including the Woodland period, 1000 BCE, 1000 CE, and the late prehistoric period, 1000 to 1600 CE. While distinct in many respects, the Mississippian culture drew upon and built upon the achievements of its predecessors, incorporating elements of mound building, ceramic production, agriculture, and social organization into its own unique cultural tapestry. Archaeological excavations at sites such as Cahokia, Moundville, Etowah, and Spiro have yielded a wealth of material evidence shedding light on various aspects of Mississippian life. Among the most significant discoveries are the massive earthen mounds that served as platforms for ceremonial and ritual activities. These mounds, some reaching heights of over 100 feet, represent remarkable feats of engineering and communal labor, reflecting the spiritual and social significance of the built environment in Mississippian society. In addition to the mounds, archaeologists have uncovered evidence of elaborate pottery styles, intricate artifacts, and ceremonial objects that provide insights into Mississippian craftsmanship, artistic expression, and cultural symbolism. The discovery of trade goods such as copper ornaments, marine shells, and exotic materials further attests to the extensive networks of exchange and interaction that linked Mississippian communities across the region. The political organization of Mississippian societies was characterized by hierarchical structures and centralized authority. At the heart of each Mississippian community was a paramount chief or ruler who wielded considerable power and influence over political, religious, and economic affairs. The paramount chief often resided in a ceremonial complex or central plaza, surrounded by elite residences and administrative buildings. Beneath the paramount chief were a hierarchy of lesser chiefs, nobles, and advisors who helped govern the community and maintain social order. These leaders often derived their authority from hereditary lineages, military prowess, or religious prestige. Decision-making within Mississippian societies was often consensus-based, with leaders consulting councils of elders, warriors, and clan representatives to reach important decisions affecting the community. Mississippian societies were stratified along social lines, with distinct classes and hierarchies shaping the distribution of wealth, power, and prestige. At the top of the social hierarchy were the ruling elite, comprising the paramount chief, nobles, and other high-ranking officials who enjoyed privileged access to resources, luxury goods, and ceremonial privileges. Beneath the ruling elite were commoners who comprised the majority of the population. Commoners engaged in subsistence farming, craft production, and other forms of labor that sustained the economic life of Mississippian communities. While commoners enjoyed certain rights and freedoms, their social status was often tied to their lineage, occupation, and contributions to the community. At the bottom of the social hierarchy were slaves and captives who were often acquired through warfare, tribute, or trade. Slaves performed menial tasks, agricultural labor, and domestic chores, serving the needs of the ruling elite and contributing to the economic prosperity of Mississippian societies. Despite their marginalized status, slaves could sometimes attain freedom through acts of valor, marriage, or adoption into kinship networks. The economic life of Mississippian societies was characterized by a combination of subsistence agriculture, craft specialization, and long-distance trade. Agriculture formed the backbone of the economy, with maize, beans, squash, and other crops cultivated in fields surrounding Mississippian settlements. agricultural surplus allowed for the development of specialized craft industries, including pottery making, textile production, metalworking, and woodworking. Trade played a crucial role in Mississippian economies, facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas, and cultural practices across vast distances. Mississippian communities engaged in extensive networks of trade and exchange, trading surplus agricultural products, craft items, raw materials, and luxury goods with neighboring societies. Trade routes followed natural waterways, overland trails, and established trade centers, connecting Mississippian communities to distant regions and facilitating the flow of goods and information. One of the most distinctive features of the Mississippian civilization is its monumental earthen mounds, which served as focal points for ceremonial, religious, and political activities. These mounds, constructed through a combination of manual labor, soil deposition, and architectural planning, are among the largest earthworks in North America and stand as enduring symbols of Mississippian achievement. Ceremonial centers, such as Cahokia in present-day Illinois and Moundville in Alabama, were characterized by clusters of earthen mounds arranged around open plazas and public spaces. The largest of these mounds, known as platform mounds, served as elevated platforms for elite residences, temples, council chambers, and other ceremonial structures. The Great Temple Mound at Cahokia, for example, rises over 100 feet above the surrounding landscape and is believed to have served as the focal point of religious rituals and public ceremonies. The layout of Mississippian settlements was carefully planned and organized to reflect the social, political, and religious values of the community. At the center of each settlement stood a ceremonial complex or plaza, surrounded by elite residences, communal buildings, and public gathering spaces. The arrangement of structures within Mississippian settlements was often hierarchical, with the most important buildings situated atop earthen mounds and overlooking the surrounding landscape. Residential areas were typically clustered around the ceremonial center, with commoners residing in single-family dwellings made of wood, thatch, and wattle daub construction. Archaeological evidence suggests that Mississippian settlements were densely populated, with clusters of houses arranged in close proximity to agricultural fields, water sources, and trade routes. The architecture of Mississippian ceremonial centers was imbued with symbolism, ritual significance, and cosmological meaning, reflecting the spiritual beliefs and cultural practices of the Mississippian people. The orientation of earthen mounds, the alignment of structures, and the placement of sacred objects were carefully coordinated to align with celestial events, seasonal cycles, and natural landmarks, reinforcing the interconnectedness of the physical and spiritual worlds. The symbolism of Mississippian architecture was expressed through a variety of architectural features, including geometric motifs, animal iconography, and religious symbols, which adorned temples, palaces, and public buildings. Decorative elements such as carved wooden posts, painted murals, and ceramic effigies served as vehicles for conveying mythological narratives, historical events, and cosmological beliefs, reinforcing the cultural identity and collective memory of the Mississippian people. The religious beliefs of the Mississippian people were deeply rooted in a complex cosmology that encompassed a pantheon of deities, spirits, and mythological beings. At the center of Mississippian religion were powerful supernatural forces that governed the natural world, controlled the cycles of life and death, and shaped the destiny of human communities. Among the most prominent deities in Mississippian mythology were figures associated with the sun, moon, earth, water, and sky, each embodying different aspects of the natural order and exerting influence over specific domains of human experience. The sun, for example, was often personified as a benevolent deity who brought light, warmth, and fertility to the earth, while the Earth Mother figure symbolized the nurturing and sustaining qualities of the land. Central to Mississippian ceremonialism were public rituals held at ceremonial centers, where priests, shamans, and community leaders conducted elaborate ceremonies invoking the aid of supernatural powers, seeking guidance from ancestral spirits, and offering sacrifices to ensure the well-being of the community. These rituals often involved music, dance, chanting, drumming, and the burning of sacred herbs, creating a sensory-rich environment conducive to spiritual transcendence and mystical experience. One of the most enduring rituals in Mississippian culture was the green corn ceremony, a harvest festival held in late summer or early fall to celebrate the ripening of maize and give thanks to the earth for its bounty. The green corn ceremony involved feasting, storytelling, purification rituals, and communal dances, symbolizing renewal, regeneration, and the cycle of life. The Mississippian people maintained a deep spiritual connection to the natural world, viewing the land, water, plants, and animals as sacred manifestations of divine power and cosmic order. Nature served as a source of inspiration, wisdom, and sustenance, shaping the religious beliefs, cultural practices, and ethical values of Mississippian societies. Sacred landscapes, such as rivers, mountains, caves, and rock formations, were revered as sacred sites imbued with spiritual significance and supernatural energy. These natural features served as focal points for pilgrimage, prayer, and ritual activity, where individuals could commune with the spirits, seek guidance from ancestral guardians, and participate in acts of reverence and devotion. Ceramics and pottery played a central role in the artistic expression and material culture of the Mississippian civilization. Mississippian pottery was characterized by its diverse forms, intricate designs, and technological innovations. Mississippian pottery was typically made using locally available clay, which was shaped into vessels using a variety of hand-building techniques such as coiling, pinching, and molding. Once formed, pots were decorated using a range of methods, including incising, stamping, painting, and applique, resulting in a rich array of decorative styles and motifs. Sculpture and iconography were integral components of Mississippian art, serving as vehicles for conveying religious beliefs, cultural identity, and social status. Mississippian sculpture encompassed a wide range of media, including wood, stone, shell, bone, and copper, each exhibiting its own unique aesthetic qualities and expressive potential. One of the most iconic forms of Mississippian sculpture is the Southern cult style, characterized by its distinctive motifs, such as birdman effigies, ceremonial axes, and anthropomorphic figures, which are believed to have held ritual significance within Mississippian religious practice. These sculptures often depicted supernatural beings, ancestral spirits, and mythological creatures, embodying the spiritual essence and cultural heritage of the Mississippian people. Textiles and personal adornments played an important role in Mississippian society, serving as markers of social status, identity, and cultural affiliation. Mississippian textiles were typically made from plant fibers such as cotton, hemp, and nettle, which were spun, dyed, and woven into a variety of garments, blankets, and accessories. Mississippian textiles were adorned with a variety of decorative techniques, including weaving, embroidery, beadwork, and quillwork, which produced intricate patterns, vibrant colors, and tactile textures that enhanced their aesthetic appeal and symbolic significance. Textiles were often used to create clothing, headdresses, sashes, and ceremonial regalia worn by individuals during religious ceremonies, social gatherings, and special occasions. The Mississippian civilization was characterized by extensive networks of trade and exchange that facilitated the flow of goods, ideas, and cultural practices across the region and beyond. Mississippian communities engaged in vibrant trade networks with neighboring societies, exchanging a diverse array of commodities, including agricultural products, craft items, raw materials, and luxury goods. Trade routes followed natural waterways, overland trails, and established trade centers, connecting Mississippian communities to distant regions and fostering economic interdependence among diverse cultural groups. Archaeological evidence suggests that Mississippian societies traded with neighboring indigenous peoples, as well as more distant groups in the Great Lakes region, the Plains, the Southwest, and even Mesoamerica. While trade and exchange formed the backbone of intercultural relations among Mississippian societies, warfare and diplomacy also played significant roles in shaping interactions between neighboring communities. Warfare was a common feature of Mississippian societies, driven by competition over resources, territorial disputes, and efforts to assert political dominance. Diplomacy also played a crucial role in managing intergroup relations and maintaining stability within the Mississippian world. Chiefs, nobles, and other leaders engaged in diplomatic negotiations, alliances, and treaties to secure trade routes, resolve disputes, and forge strategic partnerships with neighboring societies. Diplomatic exchanges often involved the exchange of gifts, marriage alliances, and ritual ceremonies designed to foster goodwill and mutual respect among allies and adversaries alike. Interactions with neighboring cultures and the exchange of goods and ideas facilitated cultural diffusion and adaptation within the Mississippian world, leading to the spread of new technologies, artistic styles, religious beliefs, and social practices. Mississippian societies borrowed, adapted, and synthesized elements from diverse cultural traditions, integrating them into their own cultural repertoire while maintaining distinctive regional identities. For example, the adoption of maize agriculture from Mesoamerica revolutionized food production in the Southeast, leading to population growth, settlement expansion, and the rise of complex societies. Similarly, the exchange of pottery styles, architectural techniques, and artistic motifs facilitated the transmission of cultural knowledge and artistic innovation across the Mississippian world. The decline of the Mississippian civilization was a complex process influenced by a combination of environmental, social, economic, and political factors. One significant factor was environmental change, including fluctuations in climate, soil depletion, deforestation, and changes in river patterns, which impacted agricultural productivity and resource availability. Internal social and political dynamics also contributed to the decline of Mississippian societies. The consolidation of power among ruling elites, social stratification, resource competition, and the breakdown of political alliances led to internal conflicts, social unrest, and the destabilization of once thriving communities. External pressures, including competition with neighboring societies, warfare, and the arrival of European explorers and colonists, further exacerbated the challenges facing Mississippian societies. The spread of infectious diseases introduced by Europeans, such as smallpox, measles, and influenza, decimated indigenous populations, weakened social structures, and undermined traditional ways of life. Despite the decline of the Mississippian civilization, its legacy endured and continued to influence subsequent indigenous cultures in North America. Many aspects of Mississippian culture, including mound-building traditions, agricultural practices, artistic styles, religious beliefs, and social structures, persisted among descendant communities and neighboring societies. The architectural achievements of the Mississippian civilization, including earthen mounds, ceremonial centers, and urban layouts, served as enduring symbols of indigenous identity and cultural heritage. Many of these sites remained sacred to indigenous peoples, serving as focal points for religious ceremonies, ancestral worship, and cultural revitalization efforts. Furthermore, the artistic and material culture of the Mississippian civilization left a lasting impact on subsequent indigenous art forms, including pottery, sculpture, textiles, and personal adornments. The rich iconography, symbolism, and craftsmanship of Mississippian artifacts inspired generations of indigenous artists, whose works continue to reflect the aesthetic traditions and cultural values of their ancestors. In conclusion, the Mississippian civilization stands as a remarkable testament to the ingenuity, creativity, and resilience of ancient North American peoples. From its awe-inspiring earthen mounds to its intricate pottery and vibrant cultural traditions, the Mississippian civilization represents a rich tapestry of human achievement and cultural diversity.